What you are listening to is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in the squared circle. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their cases and have their disputes settled here in our forum, the Turnbuckle Debate.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Turnbuckle Debate. My name is Sneed.
I'm Chad.
I'm Colton.
And we are the Three Wide crew, baby.
Three wide, baby. No guests, baby.
We
No
ain't got
guests.
no guest.
Nope.
We're getting wild.
It's going to be wild, baby.
Just a few yeehaw marks out here yelling at each other about wrestling.
Yeah, just some yeehaw marks, baby.
That's what we do best. Man, it's nice to have a little Three Wide crew.
Yeah, I mean, the show started me, you, and Tom for, I think, 18 episodes before we had a guest on.
Yep.
Damn, I don't think I've gone back and listened to any of those. I got to go in the archives and get a hold of that.
Those were the first 18. I think our first guest was Sheena.
Yeah.
That was episode 19, I know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was, crazy kind of how it started, It just, we had Tom on he said that he could fix WWE, and he came on to talk, and we were like, man, I don't know.
What a cocky son of a bitch to say he can fix WWE.
Yeah.
Just give me the pin. I got it.
Give me the pin. I can fix it.
I'd like to debate with him, and that's kind of where it started.
Yeah. And now this is episode 132.
132.
22 episodes behind the flagship. So it's been going it feels like almost as long,
Yeah. Colton, man, what's been going on?
Man, just holding down Thursday nights on the YouTube channel with Ace, man, doing Honor Society. Ring of Honor has been pretty exciting. Last week was the first show back at Universal Studios. It was a cool look, and I enjoyed the show. So, man, really just been doing that. Fucking getting ready to go to the Indy 500 for the first time ever here in a couple weeks.
Oh, nice.
I'm not super excited about having to be in Indiana, being from Kentucky, but that's where they have that race. And I've never been before. My wife's uncle is a big fan. He's been to like the last 15 of them. And I don't think he's retired. So everybody's like, oh, does he live close by? I was like, no, he lives in Minnesota. Like he goes hard for this every year. And he's a big fan. He's been to a bunch of them, and we always talk about it. And he didn't even ask me if I wanted to go. He just emailed me. He's like, here's your ticket. See you there. So I was like, all right, man. So we're looking forward to that for Memorial Day weekend. It should be a pretty good time.
That'll be fun. I've been getting kind of itchy to go see a F1 race. I know they have F1 in Austin, Texas. I've never been to Austin, Texas. Joe Rogan just opened that awesome comedy club down there. So I'm thinking maybe go to an F1 race and go see some comedy at the Comedy Mothership in the future sometime.
I heard some comedian talking about that. I know Segura, maybe Ryan Stickler.
Yeah, they're tied in.
Yeah.
I
think they just performed there, and they were talking about how awesome of a club that was.
Yeah. It's man, look at the lineups. You got Bill Burr saying it's the best comedy club in America, and it's only been open 2 months. So
that's a pretty good review right there.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. I mean, everybody's down there. So
they were talking about how it was laid out, how the club itself was laid out.
Yeah.
So I guess you can, as for the comedian, they can go on stage and then go up to a plate, like an overlook, to watch without having to interact with fans.
The green room is in the middle. They have two rooms. The green room is right in the middle, and they can access either stage. They can go out to a balcony to watch the big room, or they can it seems like it was made for comedians, but we're big comedy nerds. I used to go to the Comedy Store all the time when I lived out in LA. So
yeah, man,
love comedy.
Well,
but we're here to talk wrestling.
We're here to talk some wrestling.
Let's get into it.
All right, let's go. Our first topic of the evening. Does Goldberg deserve a retirement tour?
Man, I'll start. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Definitely not a fucking tour. Like, I don't need to see 5 to 7 subpar matches. I mean, like, no, I don't. No disrespect. All right. Overall, I've got some respect out there for Goldberg. As a kid, it was hard not to like him, even though he, was not the greatest worker. But I will never be able to forgive him for that match against The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia. It was that was the shits, dude. It was, it had to be like top 3 worst matches of all time. And the guy's still in killer shape. He's just not, he's got ring rust. I mean, he's got a great look still, but especially now that WWE's dropped him, I definitely don't want AEW to sign him and give him a retirement tour. I'm not interested in seeing that whatsoever. So,
God damn, I feel like Tony Khan's got to be itchy though to throw that bastard on All In.
Yeah,
stay away, Tony.
Fight that urge, man.
And that's where like the fucking flaw of him being a super fan and a booker comes into play. Like we talk about how it pays off all the time. But there's where like the danger is, because the 12-year-old Tony Khan's so fucking stoked to see a jackhammer, I mean, who wasn't when they were that age? Like, yeah, it's, I don't know. I can do without it. I'll say that. I mean, I wouldn't hate to see a retirement match is fine. You want to hype it up, get fucking Conrad Thompson involved like you did with Ric Flair's last match, which hopefully will, go smoother than that did. After hearing about it, I can be honest, man, I never even watched that. I couldn't even bring myself to watch it after hearing what people said about it. So,
yeah, but brother ain't talking about a match. He's talking about a tour.
No, I don't need no tour. I'm gonna go ahead and say hard no on tour.
Yeah, I'm with you there. My feelings about Goldberg kind of resemble the feelings that you had for Roman Reigns. I can't fucking stand Goldberg. And I know, Colton, I know you said you have some respect for him. I don't. I don't, man.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to see a final farewell tour, man. Kiss style.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because Colton, you said 5 to 7 matches, and that just here, I was thinking 3, and then you said 5 to 7, and that sounds even worse. But I don't want 5 to 7 wrestlers to be in jeopardy of losing their career because this guy does not put on a good match. He does have a good look. I'll give him that. The guy's look. I mean, look at this bastard's open mouth scream right here.
Oh yeah,
like he has a good look. But as far as a retirement tour, I cannot get on board with that.
All right, I'm going to push back a little bit here.
Oh, here we go.
I never was a Goldberg guy, really. I mean, who wasn't a little bit of a Goldberg guy when, like you said, 12, 13, 14 years old, however old you were in 1998 when this bastard was on that run? He'd literally come in, spear somebody, jackhammer him, and you're done. You never saw someone that jacked up. I mean, he's walking out and blowing pyro smoke out of his nose. Like
it's pretty sparks.
Yeah, dude.
It's pretty fucking tough.
Yeah, when you're an adolescent teen boy, there's a part of you that's popping at that. So I'm not going to deny that. But outside of that, he wasn't one of my guys. That being said, he did have a hell of a run in that little bit in WCW. I mean, he was the thing. People were calling on Goldberg and Stone Cold because they're two bald-headed dudes in black tights, but where I have a problem with this is kind of what Colton alluded to. A tour, a match I'm good with. Don't come at me with this Great Muta farewell tour shit. You're not Great Muta, dude. You're not. I know you've probably sold more tickets, but as far as like your legend and your respect within the business, Muta has that in spades compared to Goldberg, in my opinion. He deserved a final farewell tour to come to the, show up at Rampage in New York and do all those cool things that Muta did. But Goldberg, I would be good with 1 or 2 matches. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, why does he deserve a retirement tour when, in my opinion, he kind of turned his back on the business a little bit? It's like he came in and got rich, but I never felt like he really loved the business. So why should fans come out for a tour? I say that, but there's a lot of Goldberg marks. So who am I to judge?
Yeah. And one of them being like, I read an article about an exchange like Big E had with Goldberg, or it wasn't even an article. It was like a video clip that I saw where they like had been working out together or working out in the same gym or something. And it was a really it was a cool exchange to see between those guys. And Goldberg really put Big E over and was like, man, I'm a huge fan. And he was like, dude, I mean, he's like, you're part of the reason I do this. Cause when I was a kid, I was fucking stoked watching you inhale pyro sparks and so yeah, I mean, but I'm with you. I don't think it doesn't seem like he necessarily ever loved the business. So I mean, how many people can say they came in their, after being away from the business for as long as he has, and he fucking beat Bray Wyatt for a title in the last 2 years like that. I think you've had enough there, pal. We don't really owe you anymore. And I mean, I guess he wants it. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. And I certainly hope that Tony doesn't feel tempted to do it. I would rather, if we're going to see it, I would rather see it in WWE. And talking about his run, in WCW, he had a pretty good run there, but I was also I was a decent fan of his run when he came over to WWE and had that feud with The Rock. It was it wasn't bad. I mean, and I think also too, it was just kind of the age that I was, and that was the only product really available at the time. But I was hyped when he showed up to WWE in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't need it. It's not necessary for me.
Just never was a fan of his, man. Even as watching the Sparks thing, it was cool, but I tell you, he was the main event at the first pay-per-view that we attended.
Sold out.
That sold out in 99. It was him and Scott Hall with the cattle prod match.
Yeah.
and I tell you, man, even at that age, I was a little disappointed that was the main event.
Yeah.
You're getting shafted a little bit with a cattle prod match as your main event, no matter who's in it.
Yeah. Do y'all think are we too tapped into the hardcore base? Are we too in our own bubble? Because when I think of this retirement match, I'm thinking, read the room, dude. No, all I see this guy get is heat with the hardcores. The fans aren't. I mean, you'll get fans, hardcore fans that play the devil's advocate and say, yeah, he gave something to the business. I think there is that. But as far as a consensus with the hardcores, I feel like it's kind of, man, you fucked up Undertaker. No, I get it. The Rehab heat and all that shit. There was more at play than just Goldberg screwing the pooch in that match. But still yet, I feel like the hardcores aren't going to welcome you for a retirement tour. So are we in the bubble? Because when he would come out on Raws recently, fans love that dude. At a casual, very just broad WWE audience, people were popping for him. So would there be a response for a Goldberg retirement
if
tour?
he does it in WWE? I think that's the only way that it garners that type of attention from the fans. It has to be the casuals that just eat up whatever is given to them.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way. I don't think he goes to,
how do you think an AEW crowd reacts to him? Do you think he gets booed, or do you think
I don't know. I mean, I think he gets an initial pop just for the fucking shock of him showing up on that stage. But I mean, I don't see him being super over with the AEW crowd.
So let me fantasy book here. AEW All In, Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people in that place. We got Goldberg versus Wardlow in his retirement match. Are you there for that match?
I mean, yeah, I would watch it. if we're gonna fantasy book, I was trying to think like who would be a good opponent for him. I could see Wardlow being a good opponent for him. And like, I don't know, now that we open this up a little bit more, I'm not necessarily here for a tour, but like, I want to know what Bill Goldberg wants out of this retirement tour. Like, does he just want to do a few matches and go over in all of them and kind of regain his fucking regain his status as a wrestler, or is he wanting to do a retirement tour to put young guys over?
He wants to come out as champion.
This guy's going.
I'm gonna take the belt and fucking retire. Like, dude, how great would that be if he showed up to WWE and was the first challenger for the new heavyweight title and then beats Seth or AJ for it and then just leaves?
I guess I could get on board for one match.
Yeah, like, especially if you put somebody over.
On it, wrap it up. That's it. One match. He has to put somebody over. He can't go out with a belt over his head.
Vince sneaks into the booking committee and puts Goldberg over Wardlow.
Oh.
Goes on another fucking 80 match undefeated streak.
I mean, I really don't want to see him in AEW at all, but if they would book it for All In, him versus Wardlow, of course, there's the spectacle of it. Just seeing those two square off for a one-time match, it is a feather in Wardlow's cap, like a young guy coming up and you get to put Goldberg's head on your wall as kind of a trophy.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
But
that's not a tour. That's one match. That's the only way.
One match. Not down for a tour. One match.
Yeah, I don't want to see him in multiple matches.
No.
Dude, hang it up, man.
Hang it up.
Put your little black trunks up.
Hang it up while you're still you're in good shape. You don't have any career-ending injuries. You can still move around. You can still do movies and TV shows. Just know when to call it, man.
Yeah.
Quit while you're ahead.
I'd like to hear what Bret Hart thinks about it.
I'm honestly shocked the dude wants a retirement tour.
And I think it's honestly, man, I think it's probably only because of how much shit the internet has talked on him with that match with The Undertaker. It kind of I've gone back and watched the clip where he knocks himself out, and it's like, that kind of sucks, man, because you could tell it was nerves and it was just excited and so yeah, I kind of feel bad for him in that sense that that's what really fucked that matchup was him being super hyped and nerves and having ring rust, and he knocked himself out of in front of a crowd of God knows how many people. That's pretty fucking embarrassing. So
he was wrestling concussed the whole match.
I can see why, saying all that out loud, that's exactly why he wants a retirement tour, is to not have it end on that note. But I don't know, man. The guy had a big enough career to unless you're a hardcore, if he stops now and you talk about him 5 years from now, nobody's going to remember that shit. Or not. That's not what people are going to talk about.
No, he's going to go for WCW. Regardless.
Yeah.
If you roll the fucking dice on a retirement tour and something similar to that happens to you again, that's all anyone's ever going to remember.
Yeah. It's very true. Tour, no
tour.
No tour.
Nah. One match, dude. Leave your boots in the ring. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anybody have any final thoughts before we move on?
Nope.
All right. So we will move to the next topic of the evening. Should Bianca Belair be the new John Cena, or should she turn heel?
I'll jump on this one. I think 3 years ago, there would be a real argument to be had of taking the John Cena route, the Make-A-Wish route, the put smiles on faces route. I think there would be a real argument for that, being the corporate face of the company. Obviously, Bianca Belair has the look. She's probably one of the top 5 most athletic wrestlers, period, in wrestling, not women's wrestler. I mean, she just has a total package to her. But she has shown that she has the chops. People kind of remember her little heel run in NXT. It wasn't anything real special. But you saw something there. I'm a sucker for heels, so obviously I'm going to be inclined to want to see someone go heel. But outside of just that, I think Roman Reigns has shown if something's getting a little stale or if people aren't locking in, and I don't think people aren't locking in on Bianca. I think people love Bianca, but I do think her shtick is kind of, she needs something. Maybe it's not heel. I don't know, but she needs something. She's got this big run going. I think a new wrinkle in the story could be interesting if she did turn heel. Roman Reigns has proven you can get a lot more attention. You can, I mean, people forget there was like 50 to 60%, I would say, of the fan base could not stand Roman Reigns. And I think a lot of people changed their opinion on him after this. We've seen something different with him. So I would like to see Bianca and maybe Montez Ford in a heel faction, but I only want to see it done if it's a certain type of heel. I don't want to see I don't know, like the flashy I'm better than you. I know in NXT thing, she did the famous Mean Girls line where she said, you don't even go here. I think she even brought that to WWE on the main roster. But I want to see serious, hated bitch Bianca. Like a mean heel Bianca with Montez. Give him a new thing. I think it would be very, very interesting to see them like that. So I say Turner Hill.
Man, I think y'all are going to be surprised by my take on this here. A, because I love heels, and B, because I hate John Cena. Let me rephrase that. I don't hate John Cena as a person or an actor. I'm not a fan of him as a wrestler or a wrestling persona. He's largely the reason I quit watching wrestling for as long as I did. But I think she should be the new John Cena. I love Bianca, man, and I like you said, I think you really hit the nail on the head, Chad, when you said that she is top 5 most athletic wrestlers of anybody doing it. You know, regardless of women's wrestling, she's an incredible athlete, and I think maybe the way I feel like this is just because I think she has the potential to be such a big star. I think she has the potential to be as large of a star as John Cena was. And also just because I'm so used to this idea of her being a super over babyface that I don't know. I just don't see it as a heel. And I'm sure they could do it. I would, and I'm sure if they did it right, I would love it. But I think and how old is Bianca? I mean, she's mid to
late 20s, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking, like 27, maybe at tops. Dude, you got fucking 20 years out of her coming your way of being the top baby face if you want it. I agree with you that I think the storyline needs a new wrinkle for sure.
Wow, Bianca Belair is 34.
Holy shit! That's how old I am. I never would have guessed that. Not that women don't look great at 34. She just does not look 34. She looks great.
Wow,
I never would have thought that.
Shocking to me.
I thought she was much younger than that.
Okay, so you got 10 years to take it back. You got a decade of her being a John Cena level babyface, and you already see her on these commercial promotions with Cricket Wireless. I mean, you could put her on lunch boxes, you put her on all kinds of things, man. I think they've really got something here with her being the face of the company. I like her. I think she would be perfect with doing something like what he did with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I mean, you guys saw her WrestleMania entrance, right? With her coming out with the dance class from out there in LA. And it's like, dude, did you hear about the one girl who's like, I think her mom had died that day or something. And like, she danced with her on the way out of the ring. Like, yeah, man, after seeing like that, like, I don't think I could stomach seeing her as her heel. I think she needs to stay the babyface, but gosh, that blows my mind. She's 34.
Hey, you might be right, man. I'm not locked in because I feel like as fans, and I'm guilty of this, it's quick to just be like, fix it with a heel turn, fix it, and I feel like fans a lot of times are quick to throw a heel turn on, where sometimes, man, the most monumental heel turns are the ones that come when you least expect it, not when everyone's calling for it. You know what I mean? Like and there is a bubbling of people calling for her to go heel. I've seen it online. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe it's not time.
I would say just you want to add a new wrinkle. I mean, I'll continue to beat this drum till I can't anymore. But fucking unify these titles, man. Get over this brand split.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's do a unification of the women's titles storyline and have her go against Rhea Ripley, who's turned into this fucking monster heel. Who I was a fan of Rhea before she went heel, but like there's a lot of meat on the bone on that storyline of them going against each other, man. I mean I think that could add a really good wrinkle to it if you pin them against each other. But
I think the main problem with her is she's had this pretty long run with the title, but has she had a monumental, memorable feud? Has there been like some big? I don't remember some very compelling storyline, and you could argue that the Roman heel turn really isn't what turned him. It's more of the story. You know, like it's the long-term invested week-to-week story, heel or face. It's the fact that they've given time to Roman and the Usos and all of these guys around him to build this long-term story. Maybe if she had something as long-term as that with a Rhea Ripley, some monumental, just epic feud, maybe she wouldn't need to turn heel.
What do you think, Sneed?
Well, that's exactly my thought, is that she's not had anything to make her. Of course, she does need a new wrinkle, and I don't think she's had that story that can make her go over as a baby face and make it to where she just has something memorable. There's nothing really been there for me. Of course, I absolutely love heels. I would love to see her go as a heel. I think she would be really good at it. But I think, coming into this, it was going to be turn heel. But Colton, I think you're right, man. Listening to you and your reasoning behind it, man, I think she could, and now knowing her age, I think staying babyface would be the way.
The age is throwing me, but I still say fuck it. I want her to be a heel. I want her to, those little dancers that came out at WrestleMania. I want her to
see them cry.
Put the fucking boots to them, man. Put the boots to them. Stick a dagger in the fan's heart.
Oh man,
I can't lie and say that wouldn't make me happy as shit to see that.
I love stuff like that, man. I
would love that. I love a good heel. I love a heel, and gut knee-jerk reaction is turn her heel.
Oh, but it was such a good story. It was so heartwarming. Put the boots to him. Turn heel.
But to continue to argue it, who else do they have right now in the women's division that is that over of a baby face? Like, there's really there's nobody. Becky's cooled off. Like,
she's cooled off.
She's cooled off hard, man. And it's Asuka's fucking over, but Asuka doesn't have the depth.
Honestly, as much as they want her to be a heel, their biggest female babyface and most interesting one, as far if you just look at social media and the way people respond to her, is Rhea.
Yeah, 100%.
Rhea is not a heel. Like, as much as they want her to be a heel, Mommy is not a heel. People love her, man.
Yeah. We posted on the Turnbuckle Instagram, the Tavern Instagram the other day. I was like, if you got to pick, and I'm like, dude, this is super fucking hard for me because I love both of these women. But
now that I know, like when I posted that, I thought it was an equal footing type of thing.
Everybody went Rhea.
A lot. Well, it was back and forth, but now that I know their ages, I'm Rhea all day. As far as if you had to pick one to push and you had to cut one, I'm going Rhea because Rhea's 26.
Yeah.
Yeah. that still just throws me off so much that she's 34.
But that's the thing, man. Is like, I mean, look at how athletic she is. I mean, she could wrestle into her fucking 50s as long, barring any serious injury. Like, you know, and she is she is an Olympic level athlete. Like, I mean, there's no disputing that. So
it's crazy to me that she's 34 and Charlotte Flair is 37.
Well,
like she feels like the new gen. You know what I mean? Like But here we're talking physical age, not ring age. You know, like that. There's a big difference there. So
you might have a point though, Chad. Walking out at Mania and grabbing one of those little girls and just shoving them down.
Oh, it gets so much heat, man. People would love that. People would hate her guts. Man, I love heat like that.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it. You can't just like kind of half-ass turn her heel. You would really have to lay it in with something like that. And she's so talented, she's going to be able to do either one and make it work really, really well.
I just like dastardly turns.
Yeah.
Like make it as evil as you can.
She go back to cheating with the braid like she did in NXT, like choking people out.
Fucking braid off if I was her.
I like the braid.
Do like Bailey did with the Bailey buddies. She came out and cut them all up and cut her hair off, and I don't know. I love stuff like that.
You think she should cut the braid herself? Like, you think that would be?
I mean, the braid has kind of become her thing, and I love the braid.
I love the braid,
and I love when she in NXT when she would cheat with it. That's very cool. But there would be something cool about her coming into the middle of the ring and cutting some promo of, you know, this symbolizes, you guys love to watch me twirl this when I come out, and this symbolizes our connection, and she chops it off. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm with it. All right. Anybody have any final thoughts before we move on to the last topic?
No, I love Bianca. I hope we get 10 more years out of her. Do you see her wrestling till she's 44, 45 years old? I don't.
I do. Fuck yeah. I don't see why she wouldn't, man.
I feel like she has enough star power where she could parlay this into something else.
Certainly. And I mean, that's if she wants to. I mean, I have no idea whether she has any inclination to do it in something else. And I think that she could. I mean, talking about being the new John Cena, she could definitely launch into acting. She's super fucking charismatic. But I don't know, man. I mean, I haven't heard any inklings of her wanting to go Hollywood. I think she loves this business and is really happy to be where she's at. So yeah, I mean, barring any.
And her man's in it. You know, Montez, he's 32, so
yeah.
I don't know. Watching the cricket commercials, maybe just stick to wrestling. I don't know.
I don't think that's on Bianca, man. I think that's on the writers for cricket. That's a perfect fucking phone line. Like they ain't getting.
I don't think they have any high level directors working those cricket commercials.
No, sir. They spend all their money on the animation.
That's what we see.
Yeah.
So
it's the finished product.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, moving on. All right, final topic of the evening. Can Collision elevate beyond Rampage and become a true number 2 show?
It fucking better. That's all I got to say. Like, first of all, I love this logo. It looks fucking awesome. I love the color scheme. I love the font.
Yeah.
I'm all about it, man. It looks really, really good. And yeah, I mean, I think it absolutely can, man. I mean, not to like totally shit on Rampage, but I mean, I think just by design, it's going to have to, because it's a 2-hour show. It's in a better time slot. It's on a better day. I mean, you know, you run a 1-hour show that's always like the only time we get a not pre-taped Rampage is when it's like the Friday before pay-per-view when they run a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it can definitely elevate beyond Rampage. I think it kind of has to be necessary. And one thing I've noticed the last couple of weeks watching Dynamite is like, they're not really plugging the matches for what's going to be on Rampage later that week as much as they're plugging what's going to be next Wednesday on Dynamite. Have you guys noticed that?
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's probably leading up. I think it's only natural to probably do away with Rampage, and I don't know if they do it immediately or if they do it slowly. And I mean, they don't have to. I mean, fuck, at one point WWE had Raw, SmackDown, Heat, and Velocity. Like they were running 4 days a week, and Velocity and Saturday Night Velocity and Sunday Night Heat were both 1 hour shows. So, I mean, maybe you keep it, maybe you don't, but I think that it definitely can and end it better. And you guys know when it first came out, when we first started hearing that Collision was going to happen, I was nervous about it because I thought that maybe AEW was spreading themselves too thin. I'm still not crazy about the idea. I'm glad that the press release today at least made it seem that, like, we're not doing this just to build a brand around CM Punk, because I don't think enough of that dude to build an entire fucking brand around him. I haven't read everything on it, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a hard brand split necessarily. It seems like there's going to be plenty of crossover still, which is still exactly what I want to see. So yeah, man, I think sky's the fucking limit, especially with this Warner Brother Discovery merger and all that money coming through.
Yeah, I think it absolutely can. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is going to be a live show on Saturday.
Saturdays, 8 p.m. live.
Okay, and that is where it elevates beyond Rampage to me.
Instantly, that's all.
That it's going to be a live show, because Rampage lacks so much, because it's a leftover show from the crowd from Dynamite.
Yeah.
The crowd from
the energy's dead.
We say it all the time, man. You get that big main event for Dynamite, you get that big ending to the show, and then you go into filming an hour show. Right. Now you can keep Rampage. That I'm totally okay with keeping Rampage, and if it's cost effective for you to film a show right after Dynamite and keep that show on in its time slot, and that show floats around a lot. I don't think it's been in its proposed time slot for the past month and a half.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a problem with him keeping it, but Collision, I believe it will absolutely elevate beyond Rampage, just for the simple fact that it's going to be a Saturday live crowd.
Yeah, I'm with you. The live instantly, as far as the question, can it elevate beyond Rampage? Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even a question. Rampage suffers from, like you said, time slot moving around, bad time, 10 p.m. Friday, 1 hour, and I think they're trying to book a 2-hour format inside of 1 hour. And whereas when they pitched the original, if you guys remember when Rampage launched, in the lead up to Rampage, Tony Khan was really talking about how he was going to approach it differently. This was going to be a different type of show. I thought Rampage was going to be more of like, we're going to see a little bit of Being the Elite type of vignettes and things that we don't see on a regular wrestling program. But right. it just became a 1 hour velocity, it didn't have anything different to it. It was the same thing. Can Collision be a true number 2, a SmackDown to Dynamite's Raw? 100%. And I think the thing that's going to make it that is, I know hard brand split, soft brand split, whatever you want to call it. Reports are saying that the champions will be available on both shows, and if need be, anyone's available on both shows. But as far as touring, there will be certain people that will be on the Saturday tour, and people will be on the Wednesday tour. But if we need you to come onto this one, we'll figure it out week to week. I'm okay with that.
I mean, for scheduling purposes, you have to. I mean, that's half the reason all these guys, or half the reason most guys like working for AEW, is they get away with working one night a week, and it's like, that's the only way you keep them happy, is to have a Saturday crew and a Wednesday crew. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me.
And I'm sure there's going to be wrestlers, especially young wrestlers, that don't have family lives going on and they're just wanting to be on the road. There's going to be young people on the roster that want to be on both, want to be there for both, just in case they get pulled in. But I think the thing that can make it a true number 2 is, like, if you look at the press release that came out today, spoiler alert, we're recording on Wednesday when the press came out this morning. That poster, Andrade, Miro, FTR, maybe Lance Archer, who we haven't seen a lot of, maybe he goes over there. If this is a place where we can see legit storytelling with these guys, where it's not just one-off matches or 3-week cycle storylines and then they fade away. Like if we can get these guys involved in very compelling TV, because think about it, guys, this is 2 hours that you have to book. So you're going to have storylines for these guys to elevate the show. It's not like John Moxley and Bryan Danielson are going to be doing, we're going to be telling the Elite BCC storyline through 10 segments across 2 shows. Like that's what excites me the most, is giving time to these guys that we're not getting time from. House of Black. Yeah. They were front and center on the Collision poster. If you're giving us 3 segments on a 2-hour show dedicated to some kick-ass House of Black storytelling, I think it instantly makes this show fresh. I guess my only question to you guys is, does the 8 p.m. on a Saturday night, live or not live, does that hurt? How much does that hurt this show?
I don't know, man. I don't think it hurts that much. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to watch it live every week. I might have to catch it later that night or catch it on Sunday. Cause a lot of times, I mean, I might be doing something on a Saturday night, but given the world that we live in now and the way that people stream shit, I mean, you and Ace were both saying it on a Wrestling Tonight this week of how, like, Nielsen ratings are a pretty archaic way to fucking measure success for anything anymore. And I mean, I don't think it hurts it. I think it's exciting as a wrestling fan. It's exciting to have live wrestling come back to Saturday night. I mean, Saturday night's main event. It's very nostalgic, man, all over. Like, just seeing the yellow and red on TNT's logo, like, brings me back to the fucking 90s. Like, this.
People forget, man. Like, I feel like everyone always, like, we're in this age now where we instantly relate everyone's schedule to a late 20s to late 30s life schedule, whether you're going out with your friends or you have the kids and you're going and doing something with your significant other. Dude, when I was growing up, when I was a kid, my parents never went fucking anywhere. Saturday nights, the most we would do was like order pizza and rent some movies. I'm sure there is a ton of families out there. If I was a 12-year-old kid and I was going to be stuck at home on a Saturday night, I'm stoked that I have this to watch.
Yeah.
Now, I know there are a lot of people that Saturday nights you're doing shit, myself included, but this will definitely become like my Sunday morning with coffee routine is going to be watching Collision if I can't watch it live.
But Chad, you guys were talking on Wrestling Tonight also that the way the ratings go is if you watch it within the first 48 hours?
I think it's the first 3 days. I think it's the first 72. It's either 48 or 72 hours. It counts towards the overall rating because they count the DVR numbers.
I mean, and like, compared to 5 years ago, I'm not out on Saturdays as much as I used to be.
Same.
I mean, I'm the first one. You bet your ass I'm going to be watching it live. I'm stoked. Like, I don't think it hurts it, man. I think it's exciting. I'm glad that they're not going head to head. I don't see, like you guys keep saying, everybody's eating right now. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, wrestler, or wrestling promotion. There's no reason for them to go head to head with WWE. They did it for a while, going head to head with NXT, and I thought that was cool and that was ballsy. There's no reason for them to do that whatsoever. The only thing that the question it does bring up, so does that mean this is the nail in the coffin for Saturday pay-per-views for AEW?
I think what'll happen, because if you think about it, AEW only does Saturday pay-per-view. The only Saturday pay-per-view they have, correct me if I'm wrong, is Full Gear. And the only reason they do Full Gear on a Saturday is because it's during the football season, and Tony Khan has said he will never compete against the NFL. That's why Monday is off the table. Everyone thinks they don't want to go against WWF. No, he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. His dad does. He doesn't want to go against the NFL. That's why Thursdays were off the table, Mondays and Sundays. So
but the good thing, it's smart on them, because at that point also the other two are on holiday weekends.
Yeah, Memorial Day and Labor Day.
Yeah, so majority of people are going to have those days off, so it kind of is a Saturday-esque pay-per-view.
But even on a Saturday pay-per-view, say for Full Gear, barring what TNT can allow them to do, I think it's a situation where you bump Collision down to a 6 p.m. start, a la 6:05 Eastern Saturday nights. Saturday night WCW, bump it down to 6:05, and you have a 2-hour lead in.
Yeah,
for the pay-per-view.
Double or Nothing is Saturday this year.
Is it?
It is. It is Saturday the 28th. I know that because I'm going to have to watch it in the hotel room before I go to the race the next day for the Indy 500.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
28th.
Let me pull up my calendar and make sure I'm not.
28th is a Sunday.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn it. It's on both days. Oh, so I'm going to watch the race and then go home and watch. Man, what a day. That's going to be fucking great.
Stoked for you on that one, man.
That's going to be a big weekend. Yeah.
I'm excited for Collision.
I am too, man. I'm way more excited about it than I was. I mean, I'm happy, more than happy to say when I was wrong about something. And I think the concerns that I expressed up front were valid because I was like, we didn't know what this was going to fucking be. We didn't know it was going to be a 1-hour show, 2-hour show, live or taped. It's the way they're setting it up is the best possible scenario, I think. And I can't put it over enough. I just fucking love this logo. This thing's tight. I just want a t-shirt with it on it. Looks great.
Here, what do you guys think though? I'll ask you. I have my opinions, but I want to hear yours first before. What is essential for this show to separate itself and become a true number 2 from Dynamite? What does it have to do to make it feel like a big deal? What are some things when you guys think of how do you do this show? What do you have to do in your opinion to make it its own thing?
I don't know, man. I think it has to have its own storylines. I mean, there has to be storylines on that follow just on Collision. And I think, but at the same time, I think they can go back and forth with those storylines. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something I don't know. That's something I'm really hoping to see because, like, if we remember watching, Raw and SmackDown 15 years ago, the same, Steve Austin was fucking opening both shows, and I love the idea that they're going to have the champions are going to be available on both shows. It's more, I don't want to see new belts in Collision. I do not want to see that at all.
No.
But I think it's a good idea of having like guys that are mostly Wednesday guys and mostly Saturday guys and girls that are going to be, because like they've got a big enough roster for that to work, but like not acknowledging it as a brand split to where like, oh, we're going to have a Survivor Series Collision versus Dynamite. Like, get the fuck out. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that either.
But yeah, Miro, Lance Archer. I don't know if you guys, but did you guys see Lance Archer's match on Ring of Honor like 3 weeks ago?
No.
Man, he looks fucking great. He's gotten even beefier. He's got some like bleach dreads going on. Yeah, dude, he's got some like fucking John Travolta Battlefield Earth vibes. Like, and I mean that in the best way. He's got a wild look going on right now. But yeah, I don't know, man. I got to chew on that one for a little bit. But
I think
I want to see a lot of I want to see backstage segments a lot. I don't want it because I feel like and I don't keep up with Rampage as much a lot because it really just depends on the card whether I decide to go back and watch it. Because Friday night I'm almost always doing something unless I'm just beat to hell tired, and it's because it jumps around time slot so much. Like I don't watch it as often, and I know that with the hour they're very limited. So yeah, I want to see a lot of like. And I think AEW's been doing a good job of this in general, but I want to see action happening backstage, not just like stick mic interviews. I want to see story development outside of the ring backstage. Yeah, exactly. So I think that'd be one thing I'd really like to see a lot of on Collision.
One thing I want to see too is and I've said this before, but I don't want Dynamite to act like Collision doesn't exist.
Exactly.
No. You can. I mean, if you're going to have the champions float, I don't want it to feel like you said, the Collision versus Dynamite in a roster versus. I don't want it to feel like that. I want them to have their own little storylines that can maybe bleed over if you need to. If not, you got your stories over here. Maybe some Collision stories can spill over into Dynamite. Whatever. You can just no roster split. You can have your own rosters, but still, if we need this guy on this night, then let's do it. For me, though, for this thing to feel special, two things have to happen. Two big things. Number one, it has to have a completely different stage. It has to have a completely different look. I don't know if you saw the picture I posted on the IG today where it was almost like a Nitro throwback
with Punk.
Yeah, something that drastically different than what Dynamite is. Like completely Now, don't just throw the same stage and then the graphic for Collision. It has to be different. It has to feel different. I want the ring ropes to look different. I want the ring itself to have a different feeling, the apron, everything. Give me something completely drastically different. And number two, I want the one thing I want completely separate. The one thing I want treated like a hard brand split. I want completely different commentary teams.
Oh shit!
I don't want like Excalibur and
JR and Tony.
On JR. I want like two dedicated. Like I wouldn't be opposed to them pulling fucking Mauro Ranallo off the bench, hire him and throw him and like Nigel McGuinness on Collision, and then have our OG Taz, Tony, and Excalibur on. You got to have the voices to the soundtrack, and the look of the shows have to be completely different for me to buy in that. Okay, this isn't just Dynamite 2.0. You know, it has to have its own character and attitude.
I completely agree, man. That's a good point. The set, I think I was just taking that for a given that it would be different, and we shouldn't, because it would be a nice way to save money to not.
Look at Rampage. You know what I mean? Like Rampage never felt special to me because it looked like Dynamite.
I mean, I will say I liked they at least did like the color of the graphic change, where they did kind of like the Hot Wheels, like bright orange and blue.
Right.
I always loved that fucking color combination. I thought it looked great. But it needs to be different. I mean, bring the fucking tunnels back. You know, you still have them. You didn't just sell them or throw them away. like, bring the tunnels back for Collision.
Yeah, it just can't be like, I need more of a change than just switching out the fucking aprons and the guardrail covers.
Yeah.
You know, like it's got to be more than that to me.
I love Mauro Ranallo. I think it would be great to bring him in. I'd even be okay with Collision being a two-man team. I love a two-man team.
Yeah, I love a two-man team.
I'm not shitting on Nigel McGuinness by any means. I think he does a great job on commentary, and he's been doing commentary along with Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman on Ring of Honor. And I think it's actually really good. But there for the longest time, man, I love a two-man team. I prefer a two-man team. And Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman were my favorite commentary team in wrestling. I was like, no, these guys have just got a great back and forth. So, I mean, and I know it's controversial and a lot of people aren't necessarily high on him, but I would love to see, and it doesn't have to be forever, but Mauro Ranallo, fucking good old JR. Let me see a two-piece with them and see how that goes, man. I would love to see that.
I would be down. Like,
if JR wants to do it, I would love to see it. I would love to see him come back full-time for a show.
I'll throw a fucking wild card in there, and we just talked about him on Wrestling Tonight. He's got a little heat with Brett Lauderdale and GCW. I would love to see Mauro Ranallo and Kevin Gill. I mean, Kevin Gill would have to tone down the language to be on cable TV, but the dude is talented, and he's a hardcore wrestling fan who knows his shit. Kevin Gill and Mauro Ranallo would be a lot of fun. I just want something different. I just want some new attitude, something fresh.
It gives more people an opportunity to work, man. I think that's great.
They got to know that.
Even in the back, like Renee has been crushing it on Dynamite, doing backstage interviews. Like, and I know she's kind of been training up Lexi Nair. Let Lexi Nair take the reins on Collision, and she becomes the backstage face. Like, choices like that are going to separate it. You can't. That is where, like I said, those type of moves, backstage interviewers, commentary team, look and feel of the show, that's where I want the hard brand split. I don't want the hard brand split on the roster. I want the hard brand split on all the other components around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. As long as we don't lose Alex Marvez at some point. I don't want him to go.
I love Marvez.
I like Marvez, man.
I love Marvez.
I think Marvez needs to be the guy that chases the camera.
Yeah, 100%.
That's his
He's the
sweet spot, man.
he's the on the beat reporter.
Yeah. I'm here outside the door.
I think they need to bring fucking Joey Janela back and have him and the Mommy Milkers angle with him and Marvez hitting up the titty bars.
God, I fucking love Joey Janela.
That was a great
Dude,
for all the old school Dark fans. That was one of the best storylines on Dark.
that shit popped me. It was so fucking funny, man.
Joey Janela had Alex Marvez going to titty bars. That was great.
Mommy
That's
milker.
fucking awesome.
That might be a good point to wrap it
Yeah,
up.
I think it's
I
it.
think
Yeah,
Mommy
that's it.
Milkers is where we're at. So, but yeah, man, Colton, Chad, 3 wide crew.
Hell yeah.
It was fun, man.
Always fun, and I'm sure we'll get to do this again. You know, why have the stress of trying to find a guest last minute? We'll just go 3 wide.
Nothing wrong going 3 wide.
No stress in finding a guest.
No stress and finding a guest. Go 3 wide, baby. There you go.
All right. Colton, tell everybody where they can find you, man. We'll give you. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Y'all know where to find me.
Yep, that's going to wrap us up for this edition of the Turnbuckle Debate. Usually give this spot the time. I was going to give it to you before we wrap, but Colton, get your shit in.
Mullet.mania on Instagram. Catch me Thursdays at 10:10, Honor Society with Acefield Retro, Raise Hell, Praise Dale.
TheTurnbuckleTavern.com.
Oh, yeah.
Court is dismissed.